All right, I'm awake now. Neighbors, it's Friday night, and so that means it's game plan. We didn't get a chance to record this ahead of time, so we decided to do something special with it. I know you guys are keyed up for the Raiders, and we're going to get all into the matchups and what they need to do. Dan Harms is here. How are you, bud?
Well, I made it through the week, so that's a good sign. It's been a rough, busy week for me, but no, it's ended on a really good note. Today's been a great day, and I'm glad to be here talking about the Chiefs' dominance over the Raiders over the past, decade?
Well, way to start it off nicely. I like that. Looks like Jeff Porter did make it to the chat. Glad you're here. Gary, Cole, all the regulars, thank you. And Aaron Morrow's in our chat as well, our fearless mod. Give him a hand, everybody. We might have a surprise for you here coming up in a little bit. You guys might get to see Aaron, so cross your fingers. We're going to get into this. It's one of those deals, like I get so many, like I closed my DMs this week. I'm done. I'm not even taking them this week. So it's just Raiders fans. I'll give them credit. They are the most devout troublemakers I've ever seen because it doesn't matter whether it's realistic or not. They're going to give you a bunch of static. And so while there's, I'm sure to be some Raiders fans in here, and I'm glad you're here. If you're here tonight, then you're serious about it. And let's just keep it friendly. Okay. Nobody's going to agree with everything that I say, certainly, and definitely not in the chat. So if you are new, click the like and the sub and the bell notification. We're going to do this Sunday night post game, Monday night for the Q&A, all of our film videos. And if you guys missed Dan's on Turk Wharton, you got to go back and watch that from yesterday. It's incredible. Fun. It's man, that's fun to just go watch. So if you're on the channel, memberships are open. That's something cool. In fact, that's a preview of what we're doing tonight because you're going to get to see more of us in the member streams and some of the Zoom things that we're going to be doing. So we're excited about that. Just kicked it off this week, so don't feel like you missed out on anything yet. We're still getting up and going. And the super chats are open tonight. You want to support the channel, that's the way to do it. If you do, make a comment and make sure I can shout you out for it. So this obviously is part two. And when I come down to like taking all my notes and all the stuff that I do every week, I always put it used to be Oak 1 and Oak 2. So being the second matchup this season, yes, there's a twist. I know everybody wants revenge. I know Andy's even playing it up. And if you listen to Therese Paylor, Therese thinks that this is a lot of ado about nothing, that the coaches actually don't really care that much, that they're using it as motivation for their teams. It doesn't matter to me. I think the tone of voice that I hear sounds a little bit fired up. I don't know what you think, Dan.
Yeah. When you watch John Gruden's his answer, it's not just the brush it off, kind of like I don't care. He's visibly upset about the fact that it got out. You can tell just by watching it. And whether or not this is all just a game for the media for fans to get fired up about, whatever, that's a whole different thing. But the fact that both teams have talked about it this week up to this point, it's fun. I know that Raiders fans think that this is the Chiefs trying to put bulletin board stuff up. It's really not, because I don't think that they need that to get fired up to play the Raiders after they coming off a loss. I really don't think they needed that. I think losing the way they did is more than enough to have them show up for this game. It's in prime time, and I do remember a couple tweets a couple years ago about how Mahomes struggles under the bright lights. I mean, now that he's won a Super Bowl, I mean, does that kind of take away some of that?
Yeah, right.
Let's face some facts here. Patrick Mahomes is fired up, and he's going to put on a show under the lights on Sunday night.
Well, and that's the thing, is like, I don't think it has to be a grudge match. It doesn't have to be revenge in order to get a performance that you're looking for Patrick to make up, honestly, for what was lackluster. And the whole roster should feel that way, because there were penalties that brought back touchdowns. There were miscues in the defense. We're going to talk about both sides tonight, folks. But before I do, I just want to give a shout out to New Belgium, because Oakshire is what I'm drinking tonight as we try to celebrate. This is a really nice beer. If you can get it, give it a shot. If you want a review of it, go over to RGR Craft, the other channel where it's all beer all the time. So the rest of my life. To me, it comes down to a couple of key matchups, and leaving the quarterbacks out, obviously. Where does your mind take you? What do you think is like the most important?
So right now, it looks like Eric Fisher is on track to play, but Mike Remmers is questionable, which puts some strain on that right tackle spot, especially if it's going to be Yasir Durant at right tackle for the whole game. That is less than ideal. I know that he had 10, 11 snaps against the Panthers, and he didn't look bad. He had some rough outings against Brian Burns, who's really, really good, fast type of defensive end who's going to give a lot of guys problems. But you don't really want that going into this kind of game. I think that just is. Granted, that we've talked about how the Raiders don't necessarily have a phenomenal pass rush. I like Max Crosby a lot. I think he's a good player. I don't think they're playing with Cleveland Farrell this time around either. Excuse me. So it's going to be interesting. I would imagine both Remmers and Sammy Watkins, who are questionable for this game, end up playing. I just kind of feel like that's what's going to happen. But yeah, always knock on wood when you can about that kind of stuff. But for me, it's the offensive line, because they were able to generate pressure with 4 and sometimes 3 rushers. And we watched that game, and Mahomes was not comfortable in the pocket. He was leaving pockets early before he needed to. He was trying to get out and make something happen because, one, no one was getting open. They were playing a lot of coverage, and because he didn't feel comfortable enough behind his offensive line. So they need to correct that for this game in order to allow him to do what he has to do to win.
Yeah. Crosby, I agree with you. He's certainly the matchup that I'm looking at, and it doesn't matter to me who he's facing that isn't named Mitch Schwartz. He's got the advantage. Mm-hmm. And for me, I feel like he's a guy who's still ascending, even, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Oh, he is.
For me, it comes back to, are they going to get anybody else? Like you said, Farrell looks like he's going to be out at this point.
Yeah.
We saw Hurst has had some games. I don't know if he's going to be available.
Yeah.
No?
I haven't seen him being available. Last I saw, him and Farrell were both either out or questionable for this game, and I don't know for sure on either. But I think they're leaning towards out for both.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, like, the longer things go on, the less I pay attention to anything on Fridays, because everybody's activating players, inactivating, COVID listing, like, on Sunday mornings. So
today was such a busy day for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's all crazy. And honestly, that takes us right into. That's where we should go. I know you guys want him back. I want him back. I wanted him back since the first time I watched Amik Robertson on film. LJ Sneed, I don't think he's going to be out there. It doesn't look like they're going to activate him in my mind. They could be trying to be sneaky.
He already got activated.
What?
Yeah.
Well, there went that plan. So he's there. Yay.
Well, Andy Reid, I don't know if he's officially been activated, but Andy Reid says that there's a good chance that he's going to play. And then they still have to make a corresponding move. But Matt Derrick's tweeted out about they have an option of just putting Taco Charlton on the injured reserve and then activating him. But Andy Reid said in his presser today that there's a very good chance that he does play on Sunday.
Yeah, that I saw. It's the activation that I'm waiting for. That's to
me
the
key. Do it.
It's procedural, but it has to happen. So until it happens, I don't count anybody in any week.
Thought I saw something about it, but
okay, no big deal. No, and I could have missed it. I had kid things going on today, so that's fine. But that said, that adds to a secondary that I thought was the Achilles heel last time, and I think we can all feel about that. If you guys want to go back and watch the film from that week, it's pretty telling about why things happened and why they were allowed to score 40. I don't see that happening again. Do you?
No, it's definitely not happening again. We talked about how the game plan was to challenge Derek Carr to beat them, and he did. And outside of that game, the Raiders have not been as explosive as they were in that game, and that kind of tells you all you need to know. The Chiefs didn't think that Derek Carr could do it because he had yet to show that to him. So he did, and I don't think that's going to happen again.
I'm with you. A couple of shout-outs. Angie made it, my Twitter pal.
Hello.
And Angie, you're going to have to tell me. In my head, I always call you Ange. You let me know if that's right or not. I don't even know. But I'm glad you made it. That's great. Daryl Miller, new member. Welcome to the show. Things are just getting ticked up around here. We'll have all kinds of membership information. But again, guys, when you do that, you get some stuff here in the chats. You get to extra emojis and that kind of thing. Then you get into the members-only videos and streams where Dan and I can be a little more frank. And then you get into the Zoom stuff where we can all interact a lot more easily. It's difficult for chat, and it always gets missed somehow. I do something wrong, but let's not even get into that. That said, so we saw what we feel like the offense needs to do in terms of a matchup, right? Is there one matchup for the Chiefs defense that you see as the key?
Well, for me, because I don't believe that Trent Brown's playing in this game, and you still have Colton Miller. He may play. He's injured at the time. So if they can make Derek Carr uncomfortable, that's how you win this game. We saw it a couple times when they're able to do it in the first game, and they threw an interception and a couple incompletions. You make him uncomfortable, he will throw interceptions, he will throw incompletions, he'll start checking it down like we've seen in the past, and that's how you beat this team. If you allow him to sit back there behind his offensive line, he's gonna tear up your defense, and he has that ability. Just as most NFL quarterbacks do, if you give them time in the pocket, they're going to beat you. And with a team that relies a lot on man coverage and that aspect this year specifically, they have played a little bit more man coverage. You have 4 or 5 seconds in the pocket. That's not good for your defense. And that's, for me, that's what it's got to be. You got to see Frank Clark, Mike Dana, and Chris Jones. They all got to start getting after the guy, especially the guy I reviewed this week, Tershawn Wharton. I want him to get in the backfield, get close on some of those pressures he's created this year, because he's going to have them coming in continuously more and more as long as he's playing.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is it wasn't just the first time they met. Derek Carr's been taking advantage of coverage deep more this season than any other season in his career. And, you know, I can't say I didn't see it coming. I done warned y'all. But but to have him do it again, I think, again, A-gap pressure is key. I want to see something from Noddy or Mike Pinnell, because they're going to be in there on some downs where you're going to get play action and you're going to think they're in there for the run, but they have to produce. Yeah. And then I really am looking forward to seeing Wharton and Jones in there as the tackle tandem. I want to see them mess with it. I don't know that twists are what's going to help you against that interior. So I do want to see them go a little bit wide. I want to see them bring some extra pressure. I think they will need to bring some extra pressure from time to time.
Yeah, they're probably going to have to, and especially if you're having a backup tackle out there for Trent Brown. And I don't see them getting much pressure on Rodney Hudson. The guy is just an all-pro center. So maybe they get a few lucky ones up there, but you start bringing some corner blitzes and that kind of thing. I think that's how you're going to be able to force Derek Carr to then step up into some of that late pressure applied by the tackles. Yeah.
Okay, a couple more shout-outs, guys. Hot and spicy. I don't think Heck's going to get there. I think he's happy being a line coach. He's pretty good at it. So we'll leave him undisturbed, I think. And then Robin Lim, thank you. Another new member joining the crew. This is going to be a lot of fun because it's going to get a little rowdy, I'm pretty sure. And I think most of the member-only Zooms and stuff are going to happen after I've had more than my first beer of the evening. So
there's a very good chance of that. I discovered something pretty impressive for myself this week. So,
what's that?
Well, I never had Screwball whiskey before. It's peanut butter whiskey, and it's amazing.
No,
I don't care. I have no shame about what I'm about to tell you guys. I have no shame. I bought cherry Dr. Pepper and I mixed it with this peanut butter whiskey, and it is an alcoholic peanut butter and jelly. I have no shame about this.
You're killing me, Smalls.
It's amazing.
Oh, good Lord. Okay, moving on. So yeah, there's new members. I'm glad to see you here. Jeff's here. Cole's here. Okay, great. Good Lord. Oh, no, Ange, we have not. That's a good point. And then Longmorn, thank you for the super chat. Nice to see you. You're seeing 2 ints of Thornhill and a Breland. I like that one. And I think Breland's got a matchup. We're going to see Edwards, I think. And we didn't see him the first time, so that's a very good point. But the wide receiver crews on both sides, it's an interesting point because without Hardman, and it looks like that's not going to happen, Sammy's iffy. It comes down to Ty and Kelsey. And I think that gives them a little bit of lull. So I want to see. Tyreek actually gave it away last week or 2 weeks ago in the presser that there is some kind of trick play in the books for this particular game. I think that's going to have something to do with him too. So I'm looking for their wide receiver group versus the Chiefs. And I had planned on him being there, but I still give the Chiefs the edge.
Yeah, it's if they don't have Hardman and Watkins, then things become interesting. I would imagine they find out tomorrow whether Sammy Watkins will be officially good to go for this game, because then we'll see some practice squad guys probably elevated. I don't remember if it is Dieter still on the roster right now, because I know he was elevated before the bye. I don't remember.
I think he reverted, and I think they might elevate him again.
They would have to. They would have to. Him and Kemp, I would think, would both have to be available for this game, because you have Hill, and then you have Pringle and Robinson. Outside of those guys, that's what you got right now if Sammy doesn't play. So,
yeah,
I know they talked about Sammy looking like Sammy in practice this week, and I would imagine that was probably still accurate with his limited participation. But again, we don't know the severity of his calf injury. It could just be something that happened. But if he doesn't play this game, I'm looking forward to seeing Byron Pringle catch a 50-yard touchdown pass because I think it's going to happen.
I am too. And that goes back to Lauren Warren's point. Not only do they have better guys that they could elevate from the 4th and the 5th in the practice squad positions, I do feel like the interception possibilities against Carr and that crew is a whole lot bigger than the opposite. So that's where I'm going with that. And Ange has a great question, and this is something that came up late, and I want to bring somebody in that probably has an opinion on that may not agree with you and I, because I don't want to see Tyreek returning punts, but maybe Aaron does. Folks, your fearless moderator, Aaron Morrow, is actually with us tonight. How are you, bud?
Hello, how's it going?
It's going. We're getting there. And Tyreek is... Oh, okay. It's tough to hear, right? So do you like Tyreek returning punts, or would you rather see him just kind of take it easy and catch passes?
I would take both.
Okay.
Put those points on him.
Fair enough. I don't want him getting touched if he's not catching a ball. So, I mean, Dan, do you think that that's really trying to scare the Raiders staff, or is it something that they need to do?
They definitely don't need to do it. Byron Pringle has got return experience. He took a kick return, to the house a couple weeks ago. Like, they have guys that they can elevate to do punt returns. That putting Tyreek back there is probably kind of a scare tactic, because you figure, the last time they played in a Sunday night game that Tyreek Hill returned a punt, it was for a touchdown in 2016. Like, he's done it to them before. So I mean, that could just bring back some old memories for Derek Carr and the crew there. So I don't necessarily think they need to. Like I said, they have guys that have return experience, and Pringle's more than enough as a returner to do punt and kick return. So that's what I would do personally.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. At the end of the day, it comes down to Patrick outplaying Derek, whoever he is, Carr number 2.
All the cars, they all play,
I'm sorry, folks. We try to record these ahead of time. I'm just having a bad week. So, yeah, Derek, David, whatever. Ruggs is still Ruggs. Aguilar kind of reverted to his past self this last week and dropped a lot of nice passes. I like Edwards, but he's not a deep threat. So at the end of the day, the safety play that bit them last time just is really about being disciplined and taking care of your opportunities. And I think that's really the key. Want to get some member comments up here. Cole, I had yours. Thank you for confirming that. I know that I can reach out to you when you're in the chat because I can't always look things up. Oh, no worries, Ian. None of that is a big deal. I appreciate all the support from anywhere. Mr. Porter, that's a very good point, and I'm glad that you bring that up, because this is a role that they give to Demarcus Robinson right now, where they line him up as an H, kind of off the line of scrimmage, but right off of Kelsey's hip. And that chip is important on those plays. So I feel like he's plenty size to do that. I don't know what you think, Aaron.
I agree.
Okay. I like that. I need more guys that agree with me. Dan, you're going to argue with me, right?
Well, let's just talk about how often Andy Reid actually does this. Like, he does not care about chipping for like most of his offensive plays. It frustrates it frustrates me to no end how many times they just don't block a good player or a blitzing player. Like, for example, against the Panthers, let's just run plays where we don't block Brian Burns. Let's just do that, because that's always a good idea. No, it's not a good idea.
No, it's bad. That would be the opposite of good. Oh no, it makes me cringe, man.
He can probably do it, but is he going to have him do it? Probably not.
No. Okay, fair enough. Fine. I see your point.
So they kept letting through.
Yeah, right.
Before.
I missed the first part there.
Who was it before they were letting through that really shouldn't have been? It seems like Bosa.
Yeah, it might have been. It was Chubb against Denver for certain, which makes me nervous.
They didn't block. Well, they didn't really have
We'll go into that another time. Member points. Another one. I haven't addressed that yet, Cole, but no, I'm not going to be streaming the games live. Maybe we'll get to that eventually, but certainly this week, you guys, if you want secondary audio, go watch BJ over at Let It Fly Media, because BJ, Jeff Allen, the guys from Arrowhead Pride, Kent and Craig are going to be on there. It should be a lot of fun. They have special guests and stuff. I was not invited, BJ. I'm hurt.
I had to decline, so
yeah, okay. You're busy. I get it. But no, it is a good point. We've toyed with that. My internet connection, you guys know, looks terrible. It will not keep up with live streaming for 3 hours. So someday is all I'm gonna say. So yeah. Daryl, I don't know how this is going to work out. He is on the practice squad, so Baker's in-house. I think a part of that's going to be evaluation, and part of that's going to be seeing if he can live up to his reputation in terms of getting back to being a football player and letting go of the off-the-field stuff. I think we'll know more in a week or two. I don't think it's necessarily a priority right this second, especially with Steed coming back. But when we know something, we'll definitely talk about it. Let's see. There was one other one that I needed to make sure I got to. There you go. This isn't the one, but yeah, Jeff has a good point. You do look fearless. I think it's the beard.
Probably. It kind of adds to the whole demeanor.
And unfortunately, I think he's frozen. But hey, we're trying. Oh, there we go. Okay, I feel better now. So it comes down to this, you guys. And Dan, I'll start with you. When you look at it as a whole, how do you see this playing out?
Look, I know that we talk a lot of crap about the Raiders. Like, that's just kind of how it is with rivalries in division. But they are an ascending team. They're a good team. And I think that their record this season is no fluke. They have all their players that have bought into this system. John Gruden, like we talked about, and Mike Mayock have done a very good job of building a program and a culture there. So there's nothing bad really to say about them in terms of what they've built and what they are accomplishing. But you're playing a team that you played earlier in the year, that you beat, that doesn't want to lose again, that is the best team in the NFL. They have the best quarterback in the NFL. And at the end of the day, like, this is a Sunday night football game. Patrick Mahomes is not going home a loser in this game. Like, that's not going to happen. He's gonna put points up. And I want Andy Reid to let him go. Just let him play. Just let him play. Don't coach him up to, like, go out there and run the ball up the middle 3 times when you're up by whatever it is. If you're up by that much, just let him play the game, and it'll sort itself out, because that's kind of how nature works, right?
I guess so, man. I tell you what.
Completely agree.
Details. Ian, you have a good question. Fisher should be playing. Schwartz will not be. The back is still acting up. So, and FLDB, I like that one. I'm always good for a Guardians reference there. Brian Gooch, you made it. Of course, you came in throwing cash. So nice to see you. Appreciate it. I want to make sure the members get their points in here. Do you think that they'll need to put it? Yeah, and that's exactly where Dan was going. Aaron, do you think that Andy will actually do that and actually play hard, run the score up?
I think he will a little bit. My prediction's 45-26. That's the biggest score I've ever lost.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to qualify that as, yes, that's pedal to the floor.
I would say so.
Yeah, I'm going that direction. It is a must win. You are right, Ange. And Brian, since you're late, that's Aaron Morrow, your moderator. Enjoy the picture there. Let's see, William. Thank you very much for the sticker. And this is again a preview of what we're gonna do here in the member stream. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, we'll talk about that after this game. I'm pretty sure. At the end of the day, I think Willie does play more this game. I think they got to the bye week and they figured some things out. I think they're going to need him, because I think it's going to be a run, play action, try to chuck it for 50 is what the Raiders' game plan is going to be. And I think the Chiefs are aware of that and have the defense not only to combat it, but certainly offense to slow that down. Dre, I don't know that it's clear cut yet. It's still a competition in my mind until the last week of the season, but
yes.
Okay, evidently I'm wrong. But at the end of the day,
Willie gave for that too.
That's the thing. That's what I'm wondering. I hope that he gets on the field. I think that he can attack a little bit. And I do think that Patrick and Bieniemy are the ones that drive the let's keep pounding it, let's keep attacking. And I think that's what they will end up doing. I think there's a point to be made, whether it's fiery from Andy Reid or not. That said, I'm going to up my prediction from Locked On Chiefs that I did 2 days ago, or last night. I do feel like it's going to be a little bit bigger. I'm going to call it 38-24 for the Chiefs. I'm not quite up there with Aaron, but, I'm trying. So I appreciate you guys being on here tonight. Appreciate Aaron making it on, getting our tech worked out. Thank you for all being here. We hope that you enjoy this. We're going to be late after this late game. I will probably jump on. I don't know if either of you guys are even going to be awake, so I'll probably just jump on and do a few minutes for you guys that are night owls like me. But the Monday Q&A will be back to normal, and we'll be right back into it. So if you have time post-game, please do. If not, enjoy your weekend. Stay safe out there, and we will talk to you next week. Guys, thanks for being here, and I appreciate it.
No problem. Always.
Thank you. You mind
and to
if
all,
say something?
Yes, please.
Father-in-law.
Absolutely. For everybody, we're all here.
I was gonna tell my father-in-law, Don Hilton, love you, thinking about you. We'll be praying for you.
And folks, if you would all put some good feelings out there, we would all appreciate that. Gooch, thank you very much. The victory lap, I'm with you. I think there's going to be another one this week, and maybe they'll do that for Don too. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe out there, and we'll catch up with you post-game. Have a good one.